What's up? I wanted to do my weekly video. So for those of you who are new to the challenge, every single week on Friday while I'm going through progress reports, I try to get a video out to you guys explaining things that happen in week 1 and things that will be happening in week 2 to kind of give you a heads up of what to expect going forward. So before I get into that stuff, those 6-week people, what I wanted to go over with you very quickly was your game plan. So a lot of people have asked about game plans. You really have 2 options, okay? You can either do the 12-weekers game plan, and that's fine if you want to do that. Or what you can do is you can actually switch to the 28-day people's game plan for the next 3 weeks. And that one is a little bit more aggressive. So it doesn't really matter which one you choose. Just understand that the 28-day game plan is a touch more aggressive, so it is going to be a little bit harder. So it's really up to you which one you want to do. It doesn't really matter to me at all which one you want to do to continue. It's really fine. You'll do great either way. So it just comes down to what you're more comfortable with. Okay, so go through, read them both over, and see which one you want to continue with. Not a big deal that way. So I wanted to quick go over that. Now, outside of that, understand that the biggest thing that is going on now is it's been 4 days, right? So it's literally only been 4 days of dieting. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so if you've lost, anywhere so far in the reports I've seen 1 pound to 5 pounds, that's phenomenal in 4 days. That's really, really good. Understand that by Sunday morning, the morning before your night at cheat meal, so Sunday night when you do your cheat meal, that Sunday morning you're going to weigh your least amount. Ultimately, you're going to be down inches as well. So understand that the reason that we want your progress reports on Friday is optimally we would have you turn them in on Sunday afternoon, but frankly, it's our only day off, and I don't want to sit in front of my computer and answer progress reports for 4 hours on a Sunday. So that's, we have you turn them in on Friday, so that way we can kind of get through them over the weekend, and that way if you need to get more food for the next week, or if you have any questions or whatever, we're answering them before you start again on Monday. Okay, so that's why we have you do progress reports on Friday. So now the next time you'll actually have a full weekend by the time that you send in your next progress report. So be aware of that. All right. Week 1 is always your lowest weight loss week. That's just how it works. And the reason is very simple, is because when you don't eat carbs, your body's going to lose all that water weight, right? So I would love to say that you all lost that much percent. It was all body fat, but in reality, probably 75% of it is water weight. So be aware of the fact that you still did really, really great. But in week 2, when we add carbs back in, you're going to gain that water weight back. And it's not a big deal. The scale doesn't matter, remember? So what we want to do is just understand that if the scale doesn't move in week 2, it's our lowest weight loss week. You actually probably lost a pound or 2 of fat. If the scale actually goes down, then you're doing amazing. If the scale goes up, even up to 3 pounds, you're still probably right about where you should be. So don't be alarmed week 2 on the scale. That's not really the most important thing. Inches should continually decrease, and that's really where we're going to see the biggest change. It happens every single week, every single challenge we do, though. At the end of week 2, it's hell freezes over, even though I literally am sitting here telling you, don't worry about it. It happens, right? So I get it. There's some kind of thing with the scale, and then we have to get over it, but it takes a little bit of time. So understand that going forward. Now, also in week 2, for all of you, what you should be doing, you should be getting a lot more comfortable with the format of how boot camps are run, with the format of the workouts, how things go. So you should be able to start to push yourself a little bit harder going into this week, because you're going to feel a little bit more comfortable, and obviously now your body's being fueled to perform during a workout. So understand that that's why we have you eating how we have you eating, is to help fuel your workouts for optimal results. So really push yourself for workouts this week. And with that, I wanted to talk about pace a little bit, because pace is something that I don't think many people understand, is especially when they first start, is if, let's say you're going for a 45-second set, right? So it's 45 seconds on, 12 seconds off, okay? You should be setting a pace that you can make it through the entire 45 seconds. If you go, 100,000 miles an hour and you get through 25 seconds and then you have to quit and take a break because you're just done, well, now you're waiting 20 seconds for that set to be over, and then you're waiting another 12 seconds for the next set to start. That's not optimal. Ultimately, we vary the workouts on purpose for different things. So be aware of that 45 seconds on, 12 seconds off, set yourself up for a 45-second pace. Try to get through the whole 45 seconds. If you get through the whole 45 seconds and you're like, man, I still had energy left over, okay, well, then the next set, try to push yourself a little bit harder. Or if you get through, and let's say you get to 30 seconds and then you have to stop, okay, the next set, I'm going to slow down my pace a little bit so I can try to make it all the way through the 45 seconds. Same thing when we do a 30-second on, 30-second off, 20-second on, 10-second off, whatever it might be, set the pace accordingly. Really try to push yourself to maximize the time that we give you to work out, because it does vary how the workouts affect your body, and that's ultimately what we want. So just be aware of that. Quick tip going forward, especially now that you're getting a little bit more comfortable. That's the big thing. So the other thing that we want to be aware of going into week 2 is, besides workouts and our lowest weight loss, is sticking to the plan. So a lot of people are, I've had a few questions. Oh, well, I didn't realize I was cheating because I was doing this. I didn't realize I was cheating because I was eating this. Or what about this? What about this? Stop with no. If it's not on the list, just don't put it in your mouth. Make it simple. It really does make it simple. And we go through this every single challenge where people, they try to beat the system for whatever reason. It's a proven system that works every single time, yet people think that they can figure out a better way. That's great. Ultimately, we know what we're doing. Trust us, there's a reason that our program works the way it does. So if you want the most optimal results, I would stick to the list. If you want to make sacrifices on the list, understand that you're going to make sacrifices on the results. And that's the easiest way I can compare it for you. I'm not trying to be mean, I don't sugarcoat really anything in my life. So understand that that's just how our program works. There's so many options, there's so many different ways to prepare stuff. There's a lot of great recipes on the Facebook guide, or in the Facebook group, so thank you guys for all of that. And then the last thing I wanted to go over was a little bit of a motivational story real quick. And just more of a shout out in general. So a really cool thing happened is for any of you who work out in Holland, you might know who Barb Vanderswag is. She's a little bit, I would say, on the higher end of our age scale of people who work out. And she's was just scared to death the first day she worked out. She was, just out of shape, and that's the easiest way to say it. She was just out of shape, and it was very, very tough for her the first couple weeks that she was there. I remember even her first day, she had to sit down because she was seeing stars. So it was very, very difficult for her. It got to the point where we would tell her, hey, do this exercise a few times in a row so you don't have to get up and move to the other station because it just takes too long. And you know what? It was, you could tell she was disappointed, but you know what? She came back the next day, and then she came back the next day, and then she came back the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And of course, as she continued, and she kept eating the right way, and she kept saying, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And even if she had a little bit of a setback, or if she didn't come for a couple days, that's fine. She came back, I can do this, I can do this. And she tried to get a little bit better every day. And if you would have told me, 8 weeks ago when she started, that in 8 weeks she would be doing slider mountain climbers, I would have bet you anything in the world that it wasn't going to happen. And you know what? Today, I'll be damned, she got on those sliders, and she didn't do it for the whole 45 seconds, but she did a good 25 seconds straight of slider mountain climbers, and I was like, who are you, lady? Just an incredible, incredible thing to see. Somebody who literally was just scared to death, out of shape, needed a lot of modifications, needed a lot of help, needed a lot of work, but you know what? She showed up and she said, hey, if you're willing to help me, I'm willing to put in the work, and I promise if you do the same thing and you have the same mentality that Barb did, wow, are you going to be amazed with yourself in 8 weeks of what you can really accomplish, because it's just an incredible story to see this lady from where she was to what she has come to, and just the work and the effort and the desire is just unmatched. It's just incredible to watch. So I did want to give her a quick shout out because it was just a really cool story to see her get on those sliders and just kick some butt. It was an amazing thing to watch. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Make sure you stay on track, plan your meals, prep your meals, get everything ready. See y'all on Monday if I don't see you tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see you at the end of week 2.